Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The next book we're going to read is about Salvador Dali. Okay, I really like this series by Mike Venezia. They're really good and they have a lot of cool pictures in them. So you guys are probably familiar with them because I've been reading them to you and now on YouTube. So here we go. All right. Salvador Dali was born in Figueras, Spain in 1904. He was one of the most famous and unusual artists of the 20th century. And there's a photograph of him. Salvador Dali's best-known paintings are called surrealistic. Most of them are filled with mysterious objects or familiar objects that have been oddly changed. So this one is called The Persistence of Memory. You can see the melting clocks. That's probably one of his most famous paintings. Even though the things Dali painted look very real, his paintings can be hard to understand. That's because many of the scenes he chose to paint came right out of his dreams. And this one is called Metamorphosis of Narcissus. Just before Salvador Dali was born, a terrible thing happened to his mother and father. Mr. and Mrs. Dali's first son died. When their new baby arrived, they decided to name him Salvador after the child they had just lost. They treated the new Salvador as though he were their first son and were very protective of him. The second Salvador was very confused while he was growing up. So we have a cartoon here, and his mother is saying, "Why doesn't Salvador eat his beans? Salvador always ate his beans." And his father says, "Why isn't Salvador drinking his milk? Salvador always drank his milk." And here's little Salvador saying, "Gee, I'm not my brother Salvador. I'm me. At least I think I'm me." Because he was confused, Salvador Dali acted different from other children. He had strange dreams and fears, and he always wanted attention. Salvador Dali often showed things in his paintings that he remembered from his childhood, even the things that frightened him. Okay, so we have a cartoon here, and here's Salvador. "Help! Help! They're coming closer! I can't stand it! Help! Save me!" And the little boy says, "I think he saw a grasshopper or something." And the teacher says, "Oh dear, what's wrong with poor Salvador?" Now this one is called Detail of First Days of Spring. Okay. Even after he grew up, Dali kept doing things to get attention, like arriving at an event in a limousine filled with cauliflowers, or giving a talk about his art while wearing a deep-sea diving suit. He said he received messages from outer space through his mustache, which acted like an antenna. People couldn't wait to see what Salvador Dali would come up with next. All right, so here he is arriving in the limo filled with cauliflower, and he says, "I am here." And the people are going, "Where is he?" Okay, here he is in his deep-sea diving suit, saying, "Mumble, mumble, 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 mumble." And then this guy says, "What did he say? What? I don't know. What? Huh?" And then here he is. Aliens. Remember, he gets messages through his mustache. "Why don't you paint a big blob and put ants crawling on it?" And here is his mustache. You see that? The crackly lines. "Good idea, thanks." And there's his picture. Strange guy. We can't really receive messages through mustaches, right? No. While he was growing up, Salvador Dali had a wonderful imagination and was very interested in art. He may have started painting when he was only 8 years old at his family's summer home. The Dali family spent every summer in Cadaqués, Spain, which was right on the sea. Artists from all over the world would come to paint the beautiful scenery there. Some of them were friends of the Dali family. Salvador Dali loved the landscape around Cadaqués and included scenes he remembered in many of his later paintings. So this one is called Cadaqués. And then here we have The Weaning of Furniture, Nutrition. When he was a teenager, Salvador went to Madrid, the capital city of Spain, to enter its School of Fine Arts. Everything seemed fine at first, but soon Salvador got tired of the old-fashioned way art was being taught at the school. He was more interested in the exciting new art being created in the city of Paris, France. Salvador Dali was especially interested in the paintings of Pablo Picasso, another Spanish artist who lived in Paris. Dali loved the many new and modern styles of painting that Picasso invented. And so here's our cartoon. And the professor is saying, "Class, for the next few months we will learn to draw the exciting box." Square, circle, pyramid, rectangle. That's not a pyramid, that's a triangle. Anyway, Salvador says, "Darn, why couldn't we learn to draw something more useful, like a melting clock or a guy with a giant grasshopper on his head?" Dali made many trips to Paris. On one of his trips, he got to meet Pablo Picasso. Some of Dali's early works look very much like Picasso's paintings of that time. So this one is called Mother and Child, and then this one is called Venus and Sailor, and this is Salvador Dali's painting, and this is Pablo Picasso's painting. You can see how they look pretty similar. Dali also became interested in a group of artists and writers in Paris known as the Surrealists. Surrealist artists such as Max Ernst, René Magritte, and Juan Miró thought up a whole new way of looking at things. They painted mostly what they remembered from their dreams or anything that automatically popped into their minds. The Surrealists hoped their strange works of art would make people think and discover feelings they never knew they had. They felt that stirring up thoughts from the backs of people's minds was important for artists to do. Okay, so this one is called Celebes, and that's by Max Ernst. This one is called Time Transfixed by René Magritte. You can see the train coming out of the fireplace. And this one is called The Tilled Field by Juan Miró. The Surrealists liked Salvador Dali and asked him to join their group. Soon he was painting pictures filled with his own dreamlike objects. The Surrealists thought Dali was such an interesting character that they sometimes traveled to his home in Spain to be with him while he painted. One of the people who visited him was the wife of a Surrealist poet. Gala Eluard loved Dali's work and his unusual personality. All right, so this one is called Illumined Pleasures. And then here we have a cartoon. There's Dali painting. And then his friends, "What color? Great stroke. Bravo! Go Dali. What a man." Gala was very imaginative too, and liked attention as much as Dali did. Soon they fell in love. Dali thought Gala was the most beautiful woman in the world and used her for a model in many of his paintings, like the one on the next page. Gala helped to make sure Salvador Dali and his paintings got noticed as much as possible. Eventually, Gala divorced her husband and married Dali. And this one is called Madonna of Port Llegat. And that is Gala in the painting. Okay. Some of Dali's most famous paintings are very tricky. He often showed that things aren't always what they appear to be at first glance. It's not clear whether the painting on the next page shows a group of people or a statue of the head of a famous French philosopher. It's kind of like looking at clouds and imagining all the different things you see in them. Okay, so it's called Detail of Slave Market with Disappearing Bust of Voltaire. So again, do you see a group of people or a statue of a head? Okay. A group of people or a statue of a head? Dali's paintings were becoming well known all over Europe and America. He wasn't afraid to show his strangest thoughts or dreams in his paintings. Some of the Surrealists felt that Dali's dreams were too strange. They were sometimes offended at what Dali showed, like the cruel dictator Adolf Hitler in the painting above. Dali thought this was a ridiculous thing for Surrealists to say and ended up leaving their group. He continued to paint exactly the way he wanted for the rest of his life. Okay, so in the cartoon, this guy says, "Totally gross. I know exactly what that shape means, Dali. How dare you have a dream like that?" And Dali says, "If they think that's bad, wait till they see the dream I had last night." All right, and here's the one in which there is a little tiny picture of Adolf Hitler. Salvador Dali lived to be 85 years old. He is best known for his paintings, but he accomplished many other things during his life. Dali made his own films. He was a very good writer, too. He also designed clothes, fancy perfume bottles, and ads for magazines, and he worked with famous movie makers in Hollywood, including Walt Disney. Salvador Dali was always surprising people with his showmanship. He is one of the few great artists who became as famous as his artwork. Even though Dali showed his private thoughts in his paintings, they somehow seem familiar and often remind people of their own private thoughts and dreams. All right, so this one is called The Ghost of Vermeer of Delft, which can be used as a table. And this one is still from his film, and I don't know what that says. It's in French. I don't speak French. Anyway, so that's like a photograph from his film. And this one is called Soft Self-Portrait with Grilled Bacon. You can see the bacon there. And this one down here is called Soft Construction with Boiled Beans, Premonition of Civil War. I'm not sure where the beans are, but maybe you can find them. Okay. It's fun to see real Salvador Dali paintings close up. They look almost like photographs. Dali usually worked with tiny brushes to make his brush marks as invisible as possible. The paintings in this book came from the museums listed below. The end. All right, I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you're staying safe and washing your hands with lots of soap and singing the alphabet song while you do it so that the soap stays on your hand long enough to kill any germs you've picked up. And well, it's raining today, so you're probably not outside playing, but I hope you're having a good time anyways, and I miss you guys. I really look forward to the day we can get back to school. Until then, keep watching my YouTube videos, and I will try to keep entertaining you. Bye, guys. Love ya.